Black people, particularly people with type 4 hair, might not actually have low porosity hair. In this video, I want to talk about 12 very controversial random thoughts I've been having about my hair, my natural hair in general, and also some of the, I guess, habits or routines that are known as Bible in the natural hair community. I think this video will be controversial, but I am a free thinker. I'm a progressive creator, and I definitely love to move forward in my thinking. And therefore, I find that I want to allow myself to think outside the box and question some of the things that we've been doing for a very, very long time. I think you're going to like this one. You might actually relate to some of the stuff. So if you're interested, keep watching. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to go straight into it. But of course, before that, if you have not seen how I maintain a beautiful head of, I guess, kinky twist, definitely go check that video out. It's full of information on how to take care of your hair while in a protective style like this one. Anyway, in this video, I'll be challenging your thoughts and just coming clean, I guess, and being truthful, honest, open, and just hopefully having a safe conversation as well in the comment section with you guys about some of the things I speak about in this video, particularly that I've been thinking about for months. Particularly in the last year 2023, and some of the things are really just, yeah, they're not things that we're supposed to say, I guess, in the natural hair community, but I'm about to say them. The first thing I want to talk about is protective styles. Are protective styles actually protective? As in, do they actually benefit us with length retention? Hold that thought. Obviously, when you put your hair in a protective style like this one, it grows longer because you're reducing breakage, it protects it from the elements. However, the work up to putting your hair in a protective style, is that worth it? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section, but each time I put a long protective style like this one, there's a lot of manipulation, right? I have to wash my hair in deep condition, protein treatment, then stretching, right? Sometimes with heat, only to take the style out a couple of months later and then try to detangle those knots. And again, that's another opportunity for breakage. So a few months ago, I remember thinking to myself, is it really benefiting us to do protective styles? Because, I mean, the amount of hair that I'm losing with the manipulation to prep the hair into the protective style, is that less than the length that I retain in the style? Or does it actually just zero each other out? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've experienced this, but for me, each time I put my hair in a long-term protective style, it is, yeah, it's work, and it involves quite a bit of manipulation. So obviously I'm in a protective style now, so I still wear them. This is nothing that's gonna change the way I do my routine. It's just something that I'm questioning, and maybe hopefully open conversations about how we can negate and try and negotiate some of the effects, particularly around prepping our hair for protective styles that are long-term. The next thing, girl, is that white tooth combs don't work for me. White tooth combs do not work for yours truly. Like, ever since I started looking after my hair and, you know, taking care of it, it's been known white tooth comb is the way to go for detangling. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. I have tried to use it, and I've tried to maybe convince myself in my head that it's working and it's good. But in reality, no. White tooth combs don't do much for me. Not only do they not detangle my hair effectively, they're actually quite painful. I find them to not be, efficient, okay? I would actually rather my fingers and then go ahead and use a brush, a detangling brush. That way, because fingers obviously are bigger than a wide tooth comb, right? But with the fingers, what I do have is the ability to separate the hair. Maybe that's why I like it. But anyway, you guys let me know, are you a wide tooth comb user? And if yes, okay, let me know why. If not, let me know why as well. This is not a video to bash whatever routines you're doing. I've used a wide tooth comb for a while, but I think this is one that I'll actually be phasing out. I know I say I won't be changing anything with my routine, but maybe something will change. Okay, I was wrong. Maybe some things would change. And the one thing that I think I'm going to be changing is just stop using wide tooth combs. Yeah, for the amount of knots and tangles that are in my hair, my kinky hair, I feel like I need a tool that's a little bit more efficient. And for me, that is my fingers and a brush. And number 3, I guess in line with wide tooth comb, is just simply that a brush detangles better. A brush detangles better. Not only better, okay, of course, right? I'm not crazy. Yes, a brush detangles better, but what I'm saying is a brush, one, is more efficient, but also helps me incur less breakage, because it can actually go in between individual hairs to take those tiny little knots. One, the teeth of the brush are much smaller, so I cover a bigger surface area or surface section, I guess, of detangling. Yeah, I feel like with a wide tooth comb, I just go more and more, and it's just maybe a few teeth, and you're pretty much repeating, trying to get all the tangles that you never get done because the teeth are just too wide to go in between the tangles. Do you know what I mean? Of course, I still stand by the rule that fingers are the best thing for detangling hair. Obviously, control separation properties, like it's just gentler, you can feel your hair and all that. So fingers are the best, but the next best thing for me would be a brush, not a wide tooth comb. Yeah, don't kill me, but yeah. The next thing is super controversial. Guys, number 4 is very controversial. I've seen a couple of videos, only a couple, on the whole of YouTube. Green Beauty, Natural Nadine, and another lady, I've forgotten her name, but these are the only people that I've seen talking about this, and that is the fact that Black people, particularly people with type 4 hair, might not actually have low porosity hair the way we think. Natural Nadine actually goes ahead to say that Black people cannot have low porosity hair, and pretty much that we all have high porosity hair. That's a huge claim, but I'll put a link below to her video, guys. It's eye-opening, and I think I'm gonna do a separate video particularly about this one. And yes, it made me change my mind about my hair porosity. But yeah, a few things that you might want to consider, right? Just for context. Our hair, compared to say an Asian person or a white or Caucasian person, our cuticle is much thinner. Our cuticle is like, the layers of cuticle that we have are much less as like 3 compared to 8 or 10 with Asians. Our cuticle is naturally raised when looked under a microscope. We handle our hair quite a bit with, not quite a bit, but the manipulation that goes into taking care of our hair has it so that we might incur more damage than other hair types. And also under a microscope, girl, when an African person goes outside, their hair, like as in goes outside for, I think it was 2 hours, the sun just raised the cuticle, and the cuticle is actually equal to a high porosity cuticle. That is just briefly, okay? Nadine's video goes in detail about that, and like I said, I'll do a separate video about that, but it makes sense that we might actually just have high porosity. The majority of us, in my opinion, will probably have high porosity. And if you do have low porosity hair, I believe that there's a spectrum, right? So in the Black American, African person realm, if this is low porosity and this is high porosity, you will get people throughout this spectrum. However, when we are put on the scale with everyone else, all the other races, our low porosity is nothing compared to the low porosity of, say, an Asian person. Guys, knowledge is power. This Nadine is a chemist, I think she said, and what she is saying makes sense. And why, let me not go into detail, but I believe her, one, because she's a chemist, two, I have not seen a lot else that comes close to this. I mean, the water test for checking your porosity, there's so many reasons why that is not very reliable. Yeah, but that's a video for another day, guys. I know I'm saying a lot in this video. Don't come for me in the comment section. These are just random thoughts, okay? I'll do separate videos for some of these points. However, let me know what you think about this. Have you heard of it? What are your thoughts, etc.? And in the line of porosity, guys, the next thing is that should we be doing more protein treatments? Because of the nature of our hair, not having enough cuticle, having a thinner cuticle, having hair that is more fragile, right? Every bend is a weak spot. Like, should we be having not only a moisture focused routine, but also a protein focused routine? Which makes sense for me. If you're high porosity, you already know protein is quite crucial. However, should we be really doing a protein treatment with every wash day? For example, someone like me that washes their hair once every month, should I be doing a protein treatment each time? Yeah, I'm having questions and I'm thinking maybe we should. If our hair is indeed more high porosity and more damaged or more prone to damage, then maybe we should be doing a protein treatment more often. And when I say protein treatment, I mean a real protein treatment. Okay, not with hydrolyzed protein at number 15, like top 5, top 7. I know a lot of people say they're protein sensitive, but I've always been quiet about this particular topic because I didn't really understand much about it. But I've always questioned, like, how can you be protein sensitive when your hair is protein? If you're protein sensitive, comment below. I know there are people that are protein sensitive. Okay, I'm not saying this is everybody, but the majority of us might not actually be protein sensitive. Maybe we're just not used to the feeling of having protein, number one, and maybe we're just using the wrong protein, right? Comment below, guys. But yeah, I'm saying a lot. Comment below. This is a bonus point, but should we be wearing sunscreen, as in hair sunscreen, more often? If our hair is that susceptible to damage by heat, the sun, the elements, manipulation, what have you, should we be wearing sunscreen more often? If our hair is more prone to damage, makes sense, right? We put sunscreen on our skin, but not necessarily on our hair. I think I've seen 1 or 2 products that say, you know, protein for the hair, but really there is nothing out there for protein on the hair. And I can understand why, because other races don't really need it. So, I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into the politics of this, but should we be wearing sunscreen on our hair to prevent it from damage, to protect it, to keep it healthy, etc.? The next point is that, girl, I'll be honest, a lot of people shun away from weighed down hair. They despise it, they hate it, what have you. I like weighed down hair. Am I, yeah, what? Let me know, okay? I'm not crazy, but I like my hair to be weighed down. I like the feeling of creams and butters and castor oil, my leave-in conditioner. I love that feeling. I can't be the only one, girl. I know people want, you know, fluffy hair and hair that flows. I get it, that's nice. But on a day-to-day basis and as a routine, I actually like my hair. I like my hair to be weighed down. It helps with the longevity of the style. It helps with frizz. It helps, you know, keep my ends, oh, this is not my hair, but you know what I mean, like keep the ends grouped, twirled, protected, and not like frizzy at the ends, if you know what I mean. So I like way down here. I know it's frowned upon, people don't want it, it's associated with not being clean or unkempt, or being unkempt. So if you're that person, yeah, do you, girl, but is it allowed to like way down here? Am I the only one? Comment below, let me know. Should we be changing our styles as often as we do at the moment? As in hairstyles. Today in a twist out, tomorrow in a braid out, tomorrow in a updo, next in some kinky twist, and then a wig, and then cornrows, and then twist, and then do a braid with your own hair, and then bantu, no, out. Should we be doing that? Are we, is our hair, the fact that our hair is the most flexible hair, the most versatile hair on earth, means that we can do those things. However, if you want length particularly, and if you're worried particularly about the integrity of your hair strands, should you be switching up styles that often? Are we actually meant to be doing as much changing of styles as we currently do? Not to say that we should stop, but are we doing a little bit too much maybe? What do you think? Next point, girl, is that detangling, it's great. Like, we love a super detangled head of hair. For me, detangling equals single strand knots. Detangling is single strand knots for me. Let me know if you've experienced this, but each time I finger detangle my hair, I mean my mini twists, what have you, all is well. The day I go to detangle everything and what have you, the knots, particularly the single strand knots that I get, yes, the hair is super well detangled, but the single strand knots, they just go poosh. And I understand a part of that is that the hair is super tangled when you go to use a tool, right? And maybe there's a bit of lint in there, so obviously lint can encourage knots and tangles, so maybe that's why. But again, maybe it's just detangling, because detangling, the hair is just having that opportunity to really intertwine. So maybe detangling the hair is causing more single strand knots than we should have. That's just my experience and my thoughts. You guys let me know what your experience has been. There's a lot of emphasis on moisture in the natural hair community. Moisture, 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 moisture. Even this channel, moisture. Okay, glycerin, you know. Should we be talking more about hydration? Should we be talking more about hydration? I am learning. Moisture is about the surface of the hair. Hydration is at the cortex, the deeper level of the hair. That's hydration. That is pretty important. Why do we not talk about that as much? I mean, we talk about it here and there, and I've done a video on this recently, but I feel like this should be natural hair 101, you know? When someone goes natural, this should be one of the first things that you learn. As a YouTuber, when I made a YouTube channel, this should be one of the first things I should have spoken about. Hydration and moisture. And maybe that is the reason our hair is always dry, because yes, the cuticle is moisturized and coated and sealed, but the hair inside is thirsty. There are techniques and ways to get hydration into the hair, which I have spoken about in a different video. However, I am of the belief that we need to do a bit of a U-turn about how we're talking about things and prioritizing some of the things with our hair, particularly when it comes to the care of the hair. And when it comes to hydration, it's pretty crucial. Some of us are moisturizing our hair every week, and not every week, every day, every other day, and it's dry. That's because we're just dealing with the cuticle, right? Cuticle. No one is trying to get that hydration into the hair. And hydration, it evaporates, right? It's not going to stay in there forever. So it's something that is something that needs to be replenished and the hair rehydrated quite often for the hair to stay moisturized, hydrated, soft, supple, the way we like it. And maybe, just maybe, what we've been saying when we say moisturize is actually hydration. Maybe what we've been asking for is hydration this whole time. And we just didn't know how to say it. You know, it's just moisturize, moisturize, but really, hydration is quite crucial. Next point, I like greasy hair. Shoot me. I like greasy hair. I know people. I've done a video where I speak about the truth about shampoo and how the modern beauty industry pretty much changed everyone's mind about greasy hair and how it's not good for you and it's not healthy and it's, you know, no one's gonna want to mingle with you if your hair is greasy. Before that, even Caucasian people, even people with straight hair, had some kind of grease. Like they embraced the sebum in their hair. It's not something that was frowned upon until the shampoo came, until shampoo was introduced and woo, we need to get the fluff on, right? However, I personally, I know that I love frizzy hair. Not frizzy hair. What? Frizzy hair? Greasy hair. Of course, on the pillow, on the clothes, yeah, it's not great. However, for someone that lives in mini twists like myself, I like my hair to be greasy and weighed down. If my hair got longer and I was wearing it straight, for example, obviously I wouldn't have as much product and grease and whatnot on the hair because then it'll be on the clothes and all over me, right? But when it's up and away, I love it. Is deep conditioning overrated? Is it? I grew up without deep conditioning my hair and my hair was okay. I've done a video on a lady called Lista Piri who's got hair almost twice her height. She doesn't deep condition. She doesn't use leave-ins. I'll always deep condition my hair because I feel like it has benefits. And because now I'm aware that our hair is actually more high porosity than low, then why not? Why not give it more nourishment, right? But I think it's much more overrated than it actually is. That's all I have to say on that for now. Okay, I'll just leave that there. Yeah, let's move on. Lastly, should we be concentrating, paying more attention to our scalp than we are? And when I say that, I mean sebum, the use of sebum. And you know why? Because we don't wash our hair as often as other people, all right? And some of us that are actually monthly plus washers, you can't just have sebum on your scalp. I feel like if you're gonna do something like not wash for a month, something has to give, something must be implemented to allow for a healthy routine despite not washing your hair as often as a regular person, right? To hydrate your hair, to keep your scalp clean and all that, to keep yourself fresh and feeling fresh and smelling fresh. And one of those things that I think should be done a little bit more intentionally, routinely, and emphasized even more is just scalp care, guys. I feel like we should be using ball bristle brushes on our scalp to sweep the sebum off the scalp, you know, and get it onto the hair where it's needed more. I've done a video on this and you guys let me know. I know we massage, but there's only a handful, not even a handful, maybe 3-4 YouTubers that speak about distributing sebum. And these are YouTubers that are really quite OG, like they're not even filming anymore. Maybe the most recent, most relevant one is Green Beauty. She talks about the scoop and spread method, of using sebum But other than that, nobody else is really talking about. I don't know who. I can't think off the top of my head. But it's really hard to find information about that. But I feel like that should be an integral part of our routines. Guys, 2023 is going to be an interesting year. For me, for my natural hair in my life, who knows what this year is going to bring. But obviously, these are crazy thoughts. I mean, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you tell me this, I'd have just thought you were crazy. But this is, reality. This is something that I'm actually considering and thinking about and learning. And I just wanted to come out here and share it with you guys so you're not left in the dark and just wonder, oh, how come she's doing that? And what's that change, etc. At least you have an idea where I'm coming from. Until next time, guys, it's Coily Diaries. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below. I will see you next time. Bye.